She filed under the pseudonym Jane Doe, but in this scathing denial, Sharpe's legal team calls her out by name. We won't repeat it, but they're dubbing the suit a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars.
A woman can say yes to consensual sexual relations with a man 99 times, but when she says no, even once, that no means no.
It does look like a shakedown to me. And that's difficult for me to say as someone who does not appreciate this man whatsoever.
Shannon Sharpe and Katt Williams sat down for a podcast almost a year ago. Shannon had always brought big Hollywood names to his show. Stars like John Cena, Young Miami, Steve Harvey, Terry Crews, Usher, and Tyrese Gibson. But this episode with Katt was different. Changed everything. For the first time, someone from inside the industry spoke honestly. Katt had real things to say. He admitted that Shannon's show was a game changer. He agreed it was huge, but warned that big moments come with big consequences. He said, "Those big moments can bring huge problems." Katt didn't hold back. No sugarcoating. No fake compliments. His words hit hard. Nobody expected it. Felt real. Then the lawsuit started. A woman filed a suit in Nevada. She accused Shannon of rape and demanded $50 million. Shannon Sharpe was in serious trouble, just like Katt had predicted.
Are you not afraid about being for the matter? So I stayed away from that.
Shannon Sharpe experienced a dream career. After dominating in the NFL, he moved into TV on a major platform. He learned how to speak on air, then built his own space. Shannon went from Hall of Fame tight end to one of the hottest TV hosts. After teaming up with Skip Bayless on Undisputed, Shannon realized he had something more to offer. That's when he created Club Shay Shay, and suddenly everyone wanted to be part of it. No one wanted to skip his couch.
But Shannon Sharpe, because you don't know who he is, he played 14 seasons in the NFL with the Denver Broncos, the Baltimore Ravens. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2011. After he retired, he spent time as a sports commentator and analyst. You might remember that he co-hosted Skip and Shannon Undisputed with Skip Bayless from 2016 to 2023. Bayless and his then employer, by the way, Fox Sports, they faced their own accusations of sexual misconduct in a separate filing from earlier this year. We covered it here on Sidebar as well. Now, Sharpe is part of the sports podcast space. He hosts two shows, Club Shay Shay and Nightcap. In fact, remember his interview with comedian Katt Williams in January 2024 on Club Shay Shay? That helped spark, I should say, a renewed interest in Sean Diddy Combs and his alleged bad behavior at his infamous parties. Got a lot of people talking.
Tight end Shannon Sharpe ensured that his football legacy will always be remembered when he went from the 192nd player taken in the 1990 draft to one of the most prolific receiving tight ends in NFL history.
Elway's going to let it again go to the end zone. Here's Sharpe, touchdown!
Sharpe spent the first 10 years of his career with the Denver Broncos, where it became clear that his football prowess was closely rivaled by his gift of gab.
President, we need a National Guard. We need as many men as you can spare because we are killing the Patriots. If you leave now, you get a head start on traffic. Hey, it's going to be one of them days.
Sharpe was named first-team All-Pro 4 times during his first 10 seasons in Denver. He was also an integral part of both of the Broncos' Super Bowl championships.
Anything less than being here and being up on this platform was unacceptable. Yeah, we said it. Whatever they say, we said it.
In 2000, Sharpe went on to the Baltimore Ravens and was again a major part of a Super Bowl champion.
Every dog has its day, and since I'm a big dog, I've got 2 days. Okay. So now.
You just called yourself a dog?
Yeah, I'm a dog. Yeah, I'm a big dog, a big one. Don't worry about what I call myself. It's what I answer to. How impressed were you with the Giants? Is that what you asked?
That's what I asked you, yes.
I was very, very impressed with their defense. I told you, there's nothing like a plan that when you map out a strategy and it comes together. I told you what Dak was going to do. I told you this, Skip. I also told you, if I tell you grass will turn to cheese, start hustling crackers.
Okay, good morning, guys.
Old Tom Brady stopped by last night. What?
You picked the Patriots to win easily last night. You picked Aaron Rodgers to win easily at the Chargers, and your man LeBron James stunk it up at San Antonio, went 0 for 6 from 3 and 5 of 10 from the free throw line. and really stunk it up in the fourth quarter last night.
Did we win, yes or no? Let me help.
What are we doing?
Well, last night, Tom...
What is the point?
Okay, well, let me I'm going to tell you the point. Tom wanted to come in last night, so I had fresh ales, but I had them Oscar style. Ooh. Yeah, the thing was good. He said, give me all you got, Shay. Oh, Chef Shay.
I'm so embarrassed for my brother. He's one of the top chefs in America. He's a two-time James Beard Award winner and owns the restaurant in Chicago where Obama says it's his favorite. And I got to deal with Chef Shay on my show.
Yeah, I'm a beard.
Chef Shay.
I'm a three-time beard winner.
Oh, really?
James Harden beard winner.
A 20-year-old woman says she met Shannon Sharpe at a gym in Los Angeles in 2023. What started as a consensual relationship, she claims, turned dark. She says Shannon used his fame to manipulate and control her. She describes months of emotional manipulation from a man 30 years older. She claims he threatened to choke and slap her, even when she begged him to stop. She says he ignored her no and raped her, most recently in January. She also claims Shannon recorded some of their private encounters without her knowing and even showed those videos to his friends and associates. The lawsuit is seeking more than $50 million in damages, which includes emotional distress, punitive damages, and more.
Tony Busby, let me just say this, known for his flamboyant speech in his civil filings, and in this one doesn't appear to be any exception because it begins, a woman can say yes to consensual sexual relations with a man 99 times, but when she says no, even once, that no means no. Defendant Shannon Sharpe, a man who's accustomed to getting what he wants, completely fails to understand this basic concept. After many months of manipulating and controlling plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he, and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharpe refused to accept the answer no and raped plaintiff, despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no. According to the complaint, Jane Doe worked out at this same gym as Shannon Sharpe in Los Angeles, and she was 19 at the time. This is what she claims. And she claims that he had been watching her during her workouts and finally introduced himself, insisting that she give him her number. This relationship between Sharpe and Jane Doe, again more than 30 years his junior, was consensual, but it was rocky. She said he'd insisted they were exclusive, but then was caught multiple times lying about his whereabouts and who he was seeing. According to the filing, quote, by October 2024, Sharpe's behavior had grown progressively worse, beyond anything plaintiff had experienced with him before. At this point, he was insistent upon recording their sexual activities, sometimes without her knowledge. Sharpe was also sharing the videos with others without her permission or knowledge. Sharpe would repeatedly tell Doe that he wanted to do to her things that would make no other man want her. By this point, Sharpe was no longer able to credibly maintain the relationship was exclusive. He had at this point accidentally or purposely, to advance his career, went live on Instagram while having sex with another woman. Sharpe flew into fits of anger when plaintiff noted his infidelity to the relationship or called him out about his extraneous activities. What had once become manipulation, control, and intimidation now became something far more dangerous and sinister. Sharpe even figured out how to get into Doe's apartment complex without her permission. Sharpe made it clear that what Doe wanted was of no moment, that Sharpe would get what he wanted when he wanted it. In October 2024, Shannon Sharpe violently sexually assaulted and anally to plaintiff 2 different times in Las Vegas, Nevada, blatantly ignoring her request for him to stop. He did it again in January. Remember when I said this was a $50 million lawsuit? So I want to read you what she's suing for. General damages in the sum of excess of $10 million, special damages in the sum of excess $10 million, punitive damages $20 million, statutory penalties $10 million. How do that feels like a lot of money. I mean, now that you also wonder, how do you put a price on if this really did happen? How do you put a price on sexual assault? But at the same time, $50 million for general, special, punitive, statutory penalties. Talk to us about what those mean and whether or not those would be appropriate in a situation like this.
Yeah, so the general damages are going to be her emotional distress damages. So what's the general impact to her now and kind of for the years to come as a result of going through this? If this happened, and I want to underscore, we don't know if this happened, but if this happened, $10 million does not seem to me like an excessive amount of emotional distress damages. I mean, this is something that would stay with somebody for the rest of their life and be a significant struggle at various points in their life.
Shannon Sharpe responded quickly and directly, calling the lawsuit a shakedown. He posted a video saying he would be open, transparent, and defend himself because this isn't right. He warned that a sex tape clip might be released, saying it would probably be a short 30-second edit meant to create drama. Shannon challenged, "If you've got 10 minutes of footage, release the whole thing. I don't have it. If I did, I'd show it myself." He called the lawsuit fake and said he planned to sue for defamation. Shannon denied every accusation and said the truth would come out. He even posted explicit texts to prove the relationship was consensual. He claimed he offered her $10 million before she filed the lawsuit and insisted everything between them was mutual.
Shannon Sharpe firing back at an ex who says she was raped by the Hall of Fame tight end several times at the end of last year and the beginning of 2025. In the 13-page complaint obtained by ET, she also claims he threatened to kill her, beat her up, and recorded their sexual encounters without her consent. The alleged victim admits to being more than 30 years younger than the 56-year-old star and says she met him at an LA gym in 2023 when she was just 20. She filed under the pseudonym Jane Doe, but in this scathing denial, Sharpe's legal team calls her out by name. We won't repeat it, but they're dubbing the suit a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. And they released a series of explicit text messages that they say prove this was a consensual adult relationship that included role-playing, sexual language, and fantasy scenarios.
Lanny J. Davis released a statement characterizing the civil suit as, quote, a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. Sharpe has released copies of the text messages to his social media. Due to their very explicit nature, my producers were kind enough to censor specific words, okay? So let's get into it. Davis claims the litigation has been orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Busby. Now, I'm gonna read some of it, and the quote is the quote. One quote says, "I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're me." There's another one. Now, that one was October 7th, 2023. Here's another one, more recent. Quote, "I know you miss this big, juicy, $25,000 for each cheek."
The most important, and I was surprised when I first heard this. I thought Lanny Davis misspoke. Fairly early in the conference call, he mentioned that Shannon Sharpe, during efforts to settle the case before the lawsuit was filed, offered tens of millions of dollars to the plaintiff. And he used that phrase several times, tens of millions of dollars. And I, along with other people who were on the call, asked questions. The way it worked was you typed your question in. You didn't actually verbally express the question. So you type the question, you send it, and you wait for them to answer it. Multiple people who were on that call asked the question of, is it tens of millions or is it 10 million? What's the number specifically? So eventually, after saying tens of millions several times, Lanny Davis said that Shannon Sharpe offered at least $10 million to settle the case. Now, I practiced law for 18 years. I was stunned by that because, and look, I know that within the confines of litigation, when you settle a case and you write the check and it goes away, part of the release agreement that you get from the plaintiff has language making it clear that we deny everything and the payment of money should never be regarded as proof of liability or admission of responsibility.
Tony Busby, the woman's lawyer, also spoke up. He's known for handling big cases. He once represented a woman who accused Jay-Z of misconduct, though she later dropped the case. He also handled lawsuits against Deshaun Watson. Busby said there was a videotape that was important to this case, but he would keep it private for now. He said, "Evidence stays in court," and added that he had no reason to release it yet. Public waited to see that tape. They wanted solid proof from either side. Through all this, Katt's words still echoed. His warning felt like a prediction. He didn't mean physical death. He meant career death, reputation destroyed, everything can change in a heartbeat.
I have to say, to go after Shannon Sharpe, if you're Tony Busby, after what just happened with Jay-Z. Remember, he filed that lawsuit on behalf of a Jane Doe, a woman who claimed that she was 13 years old back in 2000 and was sexually assaulted by Jay-Z. That lawsuit was dropped, and it came after serious questions of her story and credibility surfaced, both by reporting by NBC News and evidence that was presented by Jay-Z's side. Jay-Z ended up suing this woman, suing Tony Busby as well. So now to go after Shannon Sharpe, another high-profile figure, does that tell you that he feels he has the evidence in this case?
Well, Mr. Busby is a pretty bold mover in this space. I mean, he seems to not be, shy about his decision making. So it could mean that he's got the goods in this particular case, or it could just be, kind of par for the course, and this is how he, handles his high-profile cases.
4 o'clock, the high-profile attorney suing Texan star Deshaun Watson says he is now representing 12 women. Tony Busby has filed 7 lawsuits accusing the Texans star quarterback of sexual assault or misconduct. A warning, details from the lawsuits are graphic. Adam Bennett is live in downtown Houston, where Busby just spoke to reporters for the first time since filing those cases. All right, Adam, Busby saying he plans to file 5 more lawsuits?
That's right, Sherman, and he says he's spoken with more than 10 additional women. So that brings a total to more than 22 women that Busby says he has spoken with, who he says are alleging similar things to what is currently in those lawsuits right now. Now, this afternoon, Tony Busby says he has vetted these cases carefully. All 7 lawsuits filed so far are from women who work in wellness or massage services. They all accuse Watson of exposing himself and inappropriate touching during a session.
And Tony Busby said that him and his client, they have an actual tape. They have footage of him, meaning Shannon Sharpe, and the Jane Doe in this situation. And that situation, according to Jane Doe, depicts what she is suing Shannon Sharpe for. So she's saying in this particular tape, everything she's accusing Shannon Sharpe of, it will be proven with said videotape. Now listen, guys, I personally am not interested in seeing this video. And Shannon Sharpe, when he came out and said that Jane Doe and her lawyer was trying to shake him down for money, he told them to release the video. But Tony Busby recently came out and said, "I'm not releasing the video. It's our evidence."